some signs that your spouse could be cheating on you? Well, the 5 signs that we see the most that your spouse or partner could be cheating on you are, number 1, all of a sudden no interest in being intimate. The physical connection and anything cuddling and that kind of intimacy is all of a sudden gone. Phone policy changes. All of a sudden they start locking their phone more. They've changed their passwords. They're keeping the face of the phone down so you don't see any notifications. They take their phone wherever they go, even into the bathroom. Then you'll have that feeling of they're hiding something on their phone. The third thing could be changing their appearance. Now again, this is a sudden change in appearance. Not that they have gradually just started working out more or that they just decided to change their hair, but this is a sudden dramatic change. They're going to have weight loss, maybe they're spray tanning or tanning booths, they're changing their hair. There's an active, evident change suddenly that's going on with their appearance. Number 4 is all of a sudden they start working late. Again, I use suddenly. Not like this happens all the time or that's happened before quite often. It's that suddenly they're working late. It's not like there's one big project that's holding their attention, but they're working late. When you call their office, they're not available or they're out of the office. They're taking out of office lunches more frequently. Just overall, you don't know really where they are, and they tend to work late or come home late. And number 5, they're constantly planning their next girls' night or guys' night, or all of a sudden on that calendar or in the conversation, it's constantly, oh, next Friday I'm doing this and this with the girls, or hey, next weekend me and the guys are doing this. But it's constantly. It's not like it's once every so and so often. It's constantly needing to go outside of the home and outside of the marriage with friends. Now, all of these things on their own are completely healthy. I work out, I get spray tans, I go out with my girlfriends, but my marriage is solid. I'm connected, I'm intimate with my husband. We have a completely open phone policy. It's more looking at it as an overall picture. How many of these boxes are being checked? What's going on here? What is the connection going on inside of our home? If the connection is solid and all of a sudden your partner is working out, there's probably nothing to be concerned about. But if the connection is bad and they start working out, hiding their phone, staying out late, protecting their phone, all of this stuff is happening at once, there's a pretty good indication that things are not going well in your marriage or your relationship. So what do you do if your spouse or partner checks all these boxes? Now, normally people think that there are only 2 options. One is to choose to make demands to see their phone, track their locations. You might show up at their workplace. Now, all of these things, if you're a woman, you're going to be deemed crazy or psycho. And if you're a man, they're going to call you controlling or jealous or even dangerous. Now, the other option could be that you do nothing at all, that you play nice, you pretend that everything's okay, and you just stay at home and don't ruffle feathers. But this just leaves you feeling helpless, uncertain, unsettled, and ultimately you feel like you don't have a voice and that you feel kind of like you're just being walked all over. So what do you do? Now, most professionals will tell you to talk to your spouse about your concerns, yet it's common knowledge that poor communication is the root for most marital issues. This is because we haven't been taught or shown how to confront big issues, how to deal with them, how to work through them. We're told to speak our minds, and if our partner doesn't comply or submit or respond the way that we want them to, that we should enforce our right to ignore them, make their lives miserable, or leave them. Instead of us fighting to find solutions or joint solutions, we end up fighting to make our point known or to win an argument. So no wonder why we only see 2 options. It's because those are the only 2 that are usually presented to us. But there is another option. Now, what we suggest is that the person who suspects their spouse of cheating, that they need to take a good long look at the situation and be prepared to stand up, make a plan of action, and follow through. They must ask themselves, what do I really think is going on? Maybe their answer is, I think that my spouse is cheating. Reflect on why you think this. Is this you being possibly insecure? Is it personal trauma? Or is there evidence? What is going on here? Why do I really feel like this? What will help me get my answers would be another question. Now, maybe you think that going through their phone would help you get answers. And if that's what you think, then you have to think to yourself, what what I need to say or do in order to get them to want to help me get through this. Be open and honest about your feelings, and then discuss the possible solutions. If it's that you really need to open their phone, talk to them about that. Tell them about how it would make you feel if you could go through their phone with them. Maybe even offer up a solution that they feel more in control of. I won't touch the phone. How about you open the phone and we go through it together? Assure them that you won't touch it, but ask that they be willing to go through it openly. Now, as a married couple, or if you're in a long-term committed relationship, this should absolutely be no problem at all, especially because you're not asking them to take the phone away from them. You're not going to break it. You're not going to all of a sudden text anybody or respond to somebody. You're being open and allowing them to control the situation. Now, if they agree, immediately sit down and go through their phone. Ask them to go through the phone and ask whatever questions you need to be answered. Go through Snapchat or browser history, photos, search history, text messages, apps, whatever will make you feel comfortable and get you the answers that you need. Now, here is one important piece. If you see anything questionable, don't freak out. Ask them what it is and get all the information you need to move forward. If you allow emotions to hijack the situation, it will never happen again, and they will shut off their phone, they'll shut it down, and they will never open it for you again. So you have to keep your emotions calm. But what if you see something that confirms your greatest fear? Stop, breathe, because you're not going to get any answers if you freak out. Take time to ask all the questions that you need. Try to stay calm in this moment so that you can get the answers to your questions. Then you'll want to take some time to process what has just happened, what it means, what you want to do about it, etc. And we go through all of this with our 7-phase infidelity recovery program. But we really want you to, at this time, to stop and allow yourself to process. But what if you've told them that going through their phone will help you and they say no? So they're not willing to help you get the answers that you need. Now, to me, there is nothing more selfish than a coward who won't communicate with their partner. If they refuse to give you the peace that you need or the validation or comforting, and your concerns are valid, this tells me everything. Now, I personally am no longer concerned with whether or not they're cheating because they are 100% lying to you and hiding something from you. This is betrayal. Even as a woman who believes in God, I would ask them to leave my home. And this is because there's no room in my home or committed relationship for lies and betrayal. That is a foundation of our relationship. If they choose to live 2 separate lives, they won't do it from my home or around our children. Now, I might not file for divorce, but I will protect my home from the garbage and the sin that they are bringing into it. I would try to not yell or belittle or shame them, but rather I would focus on standing in my power and the power that God has given me and who I am, and focus on creating a safe space in my home, safe space for my children, loving home and place for me to exist in and my family to exist in. I'd be open to having conversations, but I would stand firm on protecting my home until I knew 100% that their heart has changed. Now, all of this is found in our 7 phases of infidelity recovery course. Now, you might want more evidence to be able to make that stand. But for me, if they are unwilling to be honest, they've already walked out of your commitment. The evidence is clear. They are not choosing you and your family. When an individual has chosen themselves so strongly, the only thing that will change their heart is a complete shakeup. And nothing shakes up a selfish person more than their spouse standing up for what's right, standing up for their family, standing up for the love of their home. If you want a healthy, happy, connected, intimate marriage, you need an open and honest partnership where both people desire a joint outcome, where both people are fighting together for the same things. So if they've checked all those boxes, what do? Follow the outline in this video or sign up for our 7 phases of infidelity recovery course.